Virginia Giuffre, one of Jeffrey Epstein's most prominent abuse survivors, dies by suicide. I hate to ask this question, but I kind of have to. Does anyone believe it was suicide?
No.
I do. She'd been suffering the last 6 months from what I was reading.
How did she get hit by that car?
Yeah, she got hit by the car and then she lived. And then she made the whole statement saying, well, I'm ready to go, but I need to see my kids first. And that was really, you know what? You're a mother. You're never ready to go.
Does that sound like she was telling the people who were threatening her life, please let me see my kids one last time?
Yes, that's exactly what was.
What happened with the car accident?
Dude.
So she just got hit by it?
She got hit by a car in her car. I think she was in her car and they came at her at like 60, 70, 80 miles an hour and she lived.
And they told her your kidneys are failing and you have 4 days to live or something.
Yep. They said you have 4 days to live. Your kidneys are failing. She's like, okay, well, I've accepted that, but I want to see my kids. And I was like, nope, this doesn't make sense. And now she dies by suicide. You know, they could have said, okay, well, we're going to do it or you can do it yourself. I don't know. I don't believe it.
Could it be that with Trump, with Pam Bondi and the Trump administration in, cash, and then they were saying, I believe, I don't want to speak for anybody, but I'm pretty sure they were talking about how, like, they're going to get these documents out. And they didn't. But now apparently they're sitting on these documents. They're going through them. Look, I hate to say this because there are people who know and love this woman who may be like, it legitimately was suicide. I don't know this. I'm just going to say this. No one will believe it.
Mm-hmm. It might be that.
Considering the story right now with the Epstein documents in the Trump administration and how a lot of people are skeptical, but at the very least, if there ever was a being close to this, we are closer than ever before to these documents. And then Virginia Giuffre gets hit by a car.
That's the part I wonder about.
I was watching a clip from that show Goliath. You ever see that? Mm-mm. It's I think it's a show. I don't know what it is, but there's a viral clip where Billy Bob is in court. He's suing, and the judge dismisses the case unjustly, so Billy Bob calls the judge corrupt. When they're leaving, this woman who's in the case, she's like, so did we win or lose? They're like, well, a little bit of both, and wham, a van slams into her and just kills her. Like, dude.
That's what I'm wondering about Virginia. So my take, which is ignorant, is that she was in such pain from the car accident, she decided to take her own life. But the car accident, did they catch the guy that hit her?
Hit by a school bus, and it was like out of nowhere.
That's right. It was going faster than a school bus is legally allowed to go.
And did they get the driver?
I don't know.
Doesn't sound that way. I mean, I feel like we would have heard it if they got the driver, but nope, it just happened. And
were the kids on the school bus?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Look, I mean, getting hit by a school bus, and like I said, it came out of nowhere, or it was like in the middle of nowhere when it happened. So,
she was out in the middle of like kind of nowhere when.
Yeah, if I understand correctly, yeah, it wasn't like it was it wasn't like
nothing about that story makes sense.
This is like his biggest accuser. This is the girl. I've been following her work for 4 years.
It is. Okay, so let's go back in time a little bit. Mike Cernovich saw that there was a defamation suit. I could be getting some of this wrong, but my general understanding is they had been trying to get information on the Epstein cases and they couldn't. There was a defamation case, and I believe Cernovich, I'm not sure I think he was working with, maybe it was Mark Randazza. I'm not entirely sure. So forgive me if I'm roping you into this and it wasn't you, but it might have been. And they filed a suit. I think it was a FOIA request or something like that to get the documents from this defamation case. And then when those documents, I believe it was the Miami Herald who then joined in and helped that effort, which exposed a lot of statements about Epstein and what he had been doing from Virginia Giuffre. This blew the lid off of Epstein. He was a free man at the time. Shortly after this is when he gets arrested. They start going after him. And I think at that point, when the story started breaking, here's my assumption. I don't know for sure. The people that Epstein had been blackmailing were largely staying away out of fear. When the news came down that because of what Cernovich and the Herald had been doing, the story was about to break, powerful individuals being blackmailed were like, oh God, no, get this contained. Arrest Epstein in a panic. He goes to this jail where he gets a cellmate who somehow Epstein gets mercilessly beaten but survives, and he has bruises on his neck. So then the guy's like, it wasn't me, don't look at me. Then they move Epstein to another cell. I'm pretty sure that cellmate died too. I'm not sure. Someone fact check me on that one. Then Epstein goes in the cell and ends his life with the cameras broken and the guards asleep.
He also said that he thought someone poisoned him, I think. 2 weeks before he died, he was like, they tried to poison me. I could be wrong about that.
Things get a little quiet. Ghislaine Maxwell is arrested. Now we're back in the Epstein story again with Pam Bondi, Cash Dan, and the FBI. So this is crazy. We had that story where Pam Bondi wrote a public letter saying that the FBI was withholding Epstein documents and hiding it from her, the attorney general. And she ordered cash to get those documents. They report the documents were transferred and they were going through them, and they'll be released soon. Everyone's like, what's going on? I wonder if the people being blackmailed are like, if these documents come to light, they are going to subpoena Virginia Giuffre and ask her to speak more on the issue. And this is why you get a story like this.
How many other witnesses are going to come forward now? How many other victims are going to come forward now that the main victim has suicided herself?
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't know. You need some evidence to get that.
Epstein had two different cellmates. Nicholas Tartagolian, who is alive. He was a former police officer. He was accused of quadruple murder. He was Epstein's cellmate in 2019 when Epstein was found semi-conscious with.
Okay, so that guy did not die.
That guy's alive. And then Efrain Reyes was his cellmate in the special housing unit in August 8, 2019, the day before Epstein's death. Reyes was transferred to private prison where he reportedly contracted COVID-19. According to a post from 2020, Reyes was found dead on November 27, 2020 at his mother's apartment in New York City with his death attributed to coronavirus.
Yeah. Okay, so I was...
Everything was coronavirus.
Yeah.
Yo, this is crazy. I'm telling you, like, he's freaky out there.
I don't want to speculate, but if you understand the way of the world, yes, I believe you're right.
I genuinely think this is likely happening. Like, Epstein was blackmailing people. He was probably working with some intelligence. Some people think he was working with Israeli intelligence. I don't know if the evidence corroborates that.
I think Elaine's father was Israeli intelligence, was he not?
I don't know. But I know that,
No one knows.
Dan Bongino on this show said some Middle Eastern intelligence or something to that effect. And we don't know for sure.
Oh, no, maybe it was British intelligence, her dad.
Maybe?
No, I think it was Israeli.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was Mossad.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Either way,
I think
this is crazy.
My take, and I don't even go too deep on this because, I want to live a healthy, happy, effective reality here. But I think
Ian, you're the most dangerous.
Ghislaine's the mastermind.
When the dark forces come, they're like, Ian's the one we got.
I'm the tornado, man.
They're like, he's the powerhouse of Timcast IRL. Tim Pool, he doesn't matter. No. It's Ian.
I'm the fluctuation. Minute transference deep within.
What?
Well, here's the question for you. If staring down the barrel,
Staring at the sun.
if you're staring down the barrel and you are told, if you continue this pursuit, you may expose the darkness, or you may die a horrible, merciless death. Turn around right now, and luxury and comfort awaits. Which do you choose?
Oh, brutal. Well, I guess it depends on what time of day you ask me that question and on what day.
Have I had breakfast?
I think the Epstein thing is,
hungry?
my general thoughts are that it's not, of course it's important, but it's not that important relative to what we really got going on with deep state economic disaster looming. So other people have said this too. They're like, the Epstein things, just forget about it. Don't worry about it. Don't stress about it. Don't hate about it. Like, focus on, tangible solutions. That's that's generally actually how I deeply feel, which is why I don't talk about this stuff very much. The Epstein stuff.
This is crazy, man.
What's the best that could happen if we found out?
Ghislaine's father was suicided. He commits suicide, but
these people have a in their families, like all the people in this sphere, they're very unwell. Mm-hmm. I think
depression runs in the family.
Yeah.
And their friends' families and their victims' families.
Well, a lot of people
and the investigative journalists they know families.
A lot of people who seek power, they have a narcissistic personality if they seek some kind of power, and that can transfer into cluster B, and that can transfer into all these other mental health issues, bipolar, for instance. So yeah, I guess it's not surprising that there's a high rate of suicide, but she still says that her dad was murdered since 1997 in an interview.
Oh,
well, I mean,
and it's Israeli, so it's believed that he was Israeli, that intelligence, but he also is alleged to have connections to British and Soviet.
Here's a picture of Virginia Giuffre with
Prince Philip.
Yeah, is it Philip?
I think it's Andrew.
No, Prince
That's
Andrew.
Andrew.
Yeah, that's Prince Andrew.
I was like, I'm pretty sure it was the other guy.
There's old Ghislaine hanging out on
I wonder if this prince whose life was ruined could somehow be involved in any of it.
Knows?
Well, I don't know. I mean, his mom stripped him of all of his titles and stuff, but I don't know what's going on now that his brother is running Well, his brother's got cancer. I don't know what's
Who's his
going
brother?
on.
The king?
The king.
Yeah.
His brother's the king?
Yep. So I don't know
England?
if anything's been lifted or replaced or something to
King of
heal the
England-
family. I don't know.
The King of England's brother was in a picture with Virginia Giuffre. that's
Yeah.
And also was stripped of his titles and stuff by his mother because of this stuff. So like he was accused, and the royal family's like, all right, we're not. Like he didn't get like excommunicated from the family. They stripped him of all kinds of titles, and they didn't have him doing anything officially because of the Epstein connections. So
They strip him of his not just titles, but his what do they call it when what you get when people die or
he was not in
We're
line
sincere
to
here.
he was not in line to the throne.
like his duchies or anything he was going to
what?
get his duchies or
What's
counts counties. Like a duchy is a bunch of counties. You have a count that serves that rules over a county. Then you have a duke that rules over like a multitude of counties called a duchy.
Oh, okay.
They'll give those to their kids. Like Prince Harry is the duke of this and that.
Yeah, I mean, those are largely just titles now, because they have elected officials because they have a parliamentary system over there. The monarchy is mostly for show.
Seems like here.
Here. Order. Someone told me to do that.
Oh, that's awesome.
They said, Tim,
Like
bang the hammer and tell them we're going to chats, Rumble Rants, and Super Chats. Thanks for checking out this clip from Timcast IRL. Make sure to watch the show live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Subscribe to this channel, and we will see you all there.